on how many are in the program, such as things like that.
So then in a school setting, how do you work it? Do you come and work with the students? Do you train a teacher, a group of teachers? How does it work?
Okay, so how is it administered in the school system? Okay, there's a couple of different models, and I've worked with several of those different models. One model is where basically it's delivered via computer 4 days a week, and then a brain trainer or a teacher who's been trained to deliver it works with the child one-to-one, one time a week. Okay, so that would be more like in a reading specialist type model, or in a model where you have small groups and can deliver it like that. We also have had where we have brain trainers that come out and provide the service there, or they're mentoring there. So it varies. It really is. Right now, the school kind of gets the choices on how they want to do that.
I have a second question. Sure. On the WJ, do you use the same form every time you test?
We don't do achievement. So in an achievement test has Form A and Form B. Okay. Cognitive does not. Okay. So yes, it is the same test. I have had people say, well, then they're just memorizing the test. Yeah, that would be great if they have that great. But we actually had a study that was done by a doctoral student and about the validity. And there's like a 24-point gain in IQ. And even if you threw out 10 points for saying it was flawed, then there's still a 14-point gain. It's pretty phenomenal. Other questions? Yes.
Most of the schools right now in New York are short of money, and we're not going to be able to probably get these kind of things to come to our school, and a lot of families can't afford it. What can we do as teachers in the classroom?
Okay, I'm a teacher in the classroom, and my school can't afford the program. Okay, so this is what I have to do. 1, do some of the exercises that we talked about, because we know that boost IQ. 2, we can have free workshops provided by LearningRx. Contact Rich. Okay, they'll be providing those here. They come out and provide those either for a small fee or for a relatively, say it's a nominal charge or free. It just depends on what you're electing. I think that the benefits to what we're doing are really phenomenal. From a teacher who's in the classroom for 18 years, I think it is life-changing for a lot of these kiddos. I've seen it as they go back into the classroom, and a child who's been in special education for a long time gets to be out of special education and functioning. And we see lots of things that work well to do that, but to do it in a short period of time is phenomenal. Anyone else? Questions? There are 80 centers in the nation. So I will instruct you to go to the LearningRx.com website, and then you can click. Now, LearningRx.com is our .com website. There's also a .org that talks about brain training. There's so much information that you can get just from the website. It's really well put together. So, yes, ma'am.
How long does it train
Which do you train
how long does it take to train an individual to become a trainer? Okay, so how long does it take to train a trainer to become an person? Or to become an individual. Okay, you start the process. You have to have a 4-year degree, and then we cognitively test you to see if you have the abilities. So that's the first thing. If you have the cognitive ability, it does not take as long. Because obviously then you're sharp and you can pick it up. So somewhere in between 90 and 120 hours to do that. If you are an in-center delivery, if you are actually a person who has some cognitive deficits, then we have to fix those first before you're able to deliver that, which you would want. I mean, you would want your child coming in, and we all do have weaknesses, and sometimes we compensate for those weaknesses, and sometimes we actually learn to overcome them. So, any other questions? Yes?
You said the cost was $1,500 approximately for about 60 sessions. How many sessions would that be?
Okay, I didn't say $1,500 for 60 sessions. I said it starts at $1,500 and it goes on up from there. And again, center to center, there's some variance on pricing, so you might want to talk to Rich directly. There's a little bit of variance. On average, it's about $90 an and maybe a little bit more up here because you have a higher cost of living here. Yeah, you have more pearls. I don't know. So as far as your hour delivery has to do with your need. Okay, most adults who come to me that I work with, those adults maybe they get 12 hours, and so $1,500 or so. Most children, they're going to need a few more hours than that. It just depends on the need. Again, I've got some really sharp kiddos who come in, and I've got some really weak adults. That's one of the stories I wanted y'all to see. She was talking about being all of 60 years old and first-time reader in her life. Yeah, so pretty amazing. There's some really remarkable changes. Yes?
Is this something that can be used with adults who are in early stages of Alzheimer's?
Good question. Can it be used with adults in early stages of Alzheimer's? I have a wonderful story. Go to YouTube and do LearningRx Shreveport and look at Virginia's story. You'll be totally entranced. Virginia was 82 years old, and she had a stroke, and they told her that she had the early stages of Alzheimer's. Here's your medication you need. She couldn't sleep, the medication. And so she said, I can't do this. So she started brain training. Her cognitive function was like 70, around 70 something, and he told her it would steadily decline. So she's in the program. 9 weeks later, she goes to her checkup, and it's 93. No meds, just brain training. Yeah, and she's doing phenomenally well. Her thing is now she's in like a not assisted living, but retirement village.